We're taking a break from our current OCG story to do a review of the new Mission Impossible movie. We went to a 4 p.m. matinee on Thursday, and I may never go to a movie theater at a different time again. Everyone but us was at least 75 years old, and two different octogenarians asked me if I was Timothy Chalamet. I felt like a literal baby. Overall, I had a great time at the movie, and that wasn't only because of the old people. But before I continue, something you need to know is that this movie is currently mid-90s on Rotten Tomatoes, which is something I knew as I sat in that seat on that fateful Thursday afternoon. As early as the 30th minute, I was starting to ask myself, who the fuck did Rotten Tomatoes ask? The main reason I enjoyed myself is because I realized while watching that I could almost certainly make an objectively better movie. As I'm contemplating trying to make an OCG movie, you can see why this realization would be materially relevant for the old Coder Guy audience. Let me take you through some of my rationale and let me know what you think. Number one, there are way too many fucking characters, and the impossible mission seems to be trying to track who you're supposed to give a shit about. There's a meeting near the beginning with like 20 people who each have 2 lines. By the time the 7th guy started talking, someone in the row behind us said, "I have no idea what the fuck is going on, Sharon. Maybe ask your boyfriend, Timmy Chalamet." There are 8 people on the poster, for fuck's sake. I never thought I'd say this, but an MI poster should only have Tom Cruise hanging or falling. Putting anyone else in the advertising makes as much sense as a solar panel on a fucking cake. Number 2, not only are there way too many people, but they introduce brand new people that we're immediately supposed to give a shit about. Ethan knows the thief woman, who is a new character, for about a day and a half, and 5 movie minutes later, the entire story hinges on not only her survival, but her total fulfillment as a human being. As an analogy, this would be like a heist movie where the target was $1 in nickels. I can't care about that. The last 2/3 of this movie are like a Zen retreat because I spent almost 2 straight hours not being able to give less of a fuck. Thirdly, and here's where I think an OCG movie really has a chance to pull ahead, all of the dramatic dialogue is mind-numbingly slow. It's so slow, it's like a parody of ponderously awful writing, except it isn't meant to be a joke. Keys. Unlock. Stuff. Yes. But. What? Probably. Something. Important. I'm really not exaggerating this, and it left me wondering whether the writers' union applied their strike to this movie retroactively. I shit you not, watching those scenes gave me whatever the bad thing is that's the opposite of epilepsy. And finally, there is almost zero wit in this entire movie. The wittiest thing about the movie is that it's 169 minutes long. Fucking classic. Yes, this movie is about AI, and I don't even want to get into that. This is world-dominating AI that can communicate on any channel, but for some reason needs a human agent to represent it and picks this dipshit that just smiles and gets into, and I can't believe I'm saying this, knife fights. And he's just like okay at knife fighting. I feel like watching this movie actually reduced my technical competency. Mission Impossible DRP1 cost $290 million to make. And as we walked out, my wife said, with $290 million, you could probably make 29 movies that were a lot better than that. And I said, fuck no. Do I look like I could survive that kind of pressure? I'd make 3 or 4 movies that were a little better and give the investors $250 million in change. I hope you found this review helpful. Goodbye until next time. Your host, Timmy Chalamet. Oh, fuck, it's just me. Dun, 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 dun.